Okay, welcome to the overview, spoiler corner, whatever you want to call it, the spoiler Methough, whatever you just want to call it. Is bottom line is gonna be mass spoilers for whatever I overview. And I hate that I forgot to actually say that at the end, so I had to make like an additional recording for me to slap at the end of everything so everybody would know that. But yeah, bottom line, we're gonna be spoiling Devilman Crybaby. We're gonna be getting into the meat of it. We're gonna be talking about plot points, people's deaths, just a whole bunch of crap. It's still within the first minute, so I can't cuss yet. But I'm telling you, once that minute mark passes, boy, the words are gonna go flying. But anyway, so yeah, let me go ahead and give like another 18 verbal warnings. This is gonna be spoiler heavy. Like I'm gonna go over pretty much the entire damn. I done already done it. Fuck it, we done already cussed now. It's too late. It's no going back at this point. But yeah, we're gonna be going into everything. We're gonna spoil the whole damn show here. You know what I'm saying? So, let's go ahead and start getting into it. Stop fucking wasting time. So first of all, let's start off with Taro eating his mom. Taro, as they say, Taro eating his mom. So I said this when I was talking about my dislikes in the overview, and that was the person I was talking about. So if you don't know who Taro is Miki's younger brother. And essentially throughout the show, you see that he starts to get into, because basically what happens is that Akira was like looking up porn and like a whole bunch of shit on his computer, right? And basically they kept on showing scenes of like Taro going in there and looking at the shit, and then this little cat will always jump in front of the TV so he couldn't see anything. It's actually kind of funny. But essentially he starts to look up stuff like Devilman, and he starts to look up stuff dealing with like how they initially show that demons transform. And then throughout the show, you start to see he starts to get like the black stuff around his eyes, which kind of shows that he was changing into a demon. But the problem is that they never really explain how he turned into a demon, though. Like, just as you see him through the show, because like I said in my overview, because I watched it twice, I didn't notice it when I first watched it, like his eyes starting to change. So when I watched it the first time, it was just very abrupt, and I was like, how the fuck did he turn into a demon? Like, why does he have these thick fucking black outlines around his eyes? But then when I watched it the second time, I kept on looking, and I was like, okay, you can slowly see him starting to develop around his eyes, which eventually leads into him turning into a demon and eating his mom. But once again, they never really explain how he turned into a demon, because the explanation on how people get turned into demons, which happens towards the end of the series, is that essentially it's like, oh, you have people who are not satisfied with society and they're mad because they're outcast or whatever the case may be, and their hate for humanity is the reason why they turn into a demon. But with Taro, it really didn't seem like that was the case. So I'm like, how the fuck did he turn into a demon? It just didn't make any sense, and none of it really added up. And that was like the one thing I really didn't like, unless it's something that I missed. It just didn't make any sense, because later on in the show, they show a scene where like some kids are throwing rocks at people who were suspected to be demons, and Akira is standing there and he's like, don't do this, these are just regular people, and he's in his Devilman form. And then the kids realize what he's saying, and then they go up and hug him. And my thing is that, well, if they was doing that, how come they didn't turn? It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I didn't get that part. So it could be something that I'm missing, I don't know. But that was just one of the things that I'm not gonna say I didn't like. It was just one of those things where I was like, I don't fucking get it. But overall, the main point that I'm bringing up here is that the whole thing about Taro eating his mom was fucking dark as fuck, okay? I know I went in on this little tangent, but I had to kind of like give you a summary of the events that led up to it and stuff like that, so it kind of still goes with the point. But that scene, dude, when he's eating his mom, is very fucking sad, dude. Like, that shit got to me. Like, I'm not saying I was crying or anything, and I'm not trying to fucking be like, a manly man and trying to sound cool, like, yeah, that shit didn't make me cry, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm just saying, like, it didn't get me to that point, but it did give me like this sense of, like, I guess you could say dread. Like, it was just very heavy, and it was like the mood changed, and I was just like, fuck, dude, that's some dark shit, because it was so fucked up. Because how it starts off is that him and his mom is going to the store, and this is when like the military is like trying to seek out everybody who could possibly be demons and just killing people left and right, and people are just killing people left and right. What is it called? It's when the world gets in that state, I can't remember the name or the word for it, but basically it's in like a chaotic state. I guess I could just use that word or whatever. And like they're going to the store, and Taro sees this dog, and like his tongue is green. He got these black outlines around his eyes, and he's basically a demon at this point. And like he sees his dog, and like he runs off and he starts eating the dog. And then the mom finds him, and he's like, "I'm sorry, mom, I was hungry." So then she's like, "Fuck this, I gotta take my son and get out of here." So then basically she leaves with Taro, and then basically when they're found, they're in like this little makeshift camp or whatever it is with all these people who don't have homes and shit anymore. And when the dad finally finds Taro and his mom, or his wife better yet, when he finds his son and his wife, Taro is eating his fucking mom. And it's one of the hardest scenes in like to watch, meaning like it's one of the hardest scenes to watch in this show, because you literally see this man just lose everything. Like it was so fucking sad. And it was like, god damn. And then what made it even worse, what they was really just laying that shit on thick, was that like he pulls up to the tent, or not really pulls up, but he walks up to the tent, and he's like, "Taro," and like he's calling his wife's names. I'm sorry, I can't remember his wife's name, but he's like calling the names or whatever. And when he pulls up to the camp, he sees the demon eating his wife. So he just thinks it's a regular fucking demon. But then, because he has like his phone, that's what it was. The phone was ringing, like he called him and he was listening for the ring. So he walks up to the tent and he's like, "Oh my God." And he sees a demon eating his wife. So he pulls out a gun and he's like, "Where's my fucking son? Like, why are you eating my wife?" and shit like that. And then that's when the voicemail kicks in. And he realizes that it was Taro the whole time. And when you see like all the emotions that flow through this motherfucker's head, it was so fucking good. Meaning, and I know that sounds weird saying that, but I'm talking about like the emotions and how they animated it in the scene and all of that. That's what I meant by it was good. Not him having his fam or his wife being eaten by his child right in front of him. I'm not saying that was good. Like, yeah, that was some good shit, man. I was laughing my ass off. No, I'm just saying like the way that scene played out and the way that they did it, it was so fucking good, man. And when I mean that you see every single fucking emotion that you would probably experience during that, a scene like that or something like that, something so tragic, it was good, man. It was really fucking good. I love that scene so much, man, because it was like the way that they did it, I can't put it into words, man. It's one of those things that you have to see it to fully understand it. And I just realized what I just said, because I did kind of put it into words earlier. But bottom line, man, that scene was so fucking like, it was, I'm trying to figure out the right words to say, but it's kind of hard. Like it was heartbreaking. It really was, because you got to see this young boy essentially turn into a demon and then eat his own fucking mom. And then his dad had to figure that shit out. And then what makes it even worse is that the cops show up, kill the dad, kill Taro, of course the mom is already dead at this point because she's getting eaten. And then Akira comes in and tries to save him, doesn't do that, and then he has to go and bury all three of them. It was fucking sad, dude. It was fucking sad. It's a great scene though. Once again, not in the sense of like it was cool or something like that. I'm talking about in the sense of just like the amount of emotion and the tension and all of that. Fucking good scene, but it's dark and it's depressing as fuck. The next one is another scene that really got to me, where I was just like, fuck, that's so messed up. But it's such a good scene because it basically just shows and portrays and like is able to project whatever fucking words you want to use, the message and the tone and the theme that they was going for with this. Which from what I read was that the whole point, not the whole point of the show, but one of the points of the show was essentially like to show that, you know, these demons are supposedly bad, which to a certain extent they are, but you know, the people who were supposed to be good or on the good side, which are humans, can be every bit as destructive and as violent and as evil as these demons are. Like that's one of the things that I saw when it came to the theme of the show, like looking it up, like the themes and what they were trying to say. But anyway, where I'm getting at is that the scene that also embodied that message of how humans can be as bad as demons is the scene at the very end where Miki and all the niggas that I talked about in my overview, who are my favorite characters, the rappers, like Wamu and Gabi and Mayuta dies way before that, but just Wamu and Gabi, how they get killed at the end. That scene, that whole sequence of all of that is so fucking messed up, man. Like, dude, it is so fucking gruesome. It is just, oh my God. So basically how the scene plays out, to give you a description or to give you some understanding of how the scene plays out, and honestly, this is what's funny is that it's another one of my points later on, but I'll go more in depth, is that basically Ryo exposes Akira, right? And he's like, because he goes on the news or whatever, he has like this little broadcast going on, and he's like, hey, Akira is a demon, and I'm gonna show you, how people become demons and stuff like that. And essentially people know where their house is, so a whole bunch of people start coming to the house. So they're trying to kill Miki, they're trying to kill anybody who's in the house, they're trying to kill Akira, etc., etc. Well, Akira runs off because he's like, I have to go beat Ryo's ass now because of what he just did. This nigga's gotta fucking die now. And like the rapping dudes, like they send one of their homeboys out to go get a truck and to come and get them, but for some reason they didn't really explain it. Like for some reason all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, I'm a bad guy now, I'm just gonna fucking kill you. So but anyway, like they're waiting for him to pull up and he never really does, right? So then all these people start storming the house, right? So you have Miki, you have Gabe, you have Gabi, you have Wamu, and then you have Miko, who is one of Miki's friends. Her name is actually Miki, but because Miki's Miki, they start calling her Miko, and you'll see that throughout the show. They'll explain all of that. But anyway, it's like them in the house, right? And then like these other two guys or whatever. And they start raiding the house. Wamu and Gabi are trying to fight them off and all this other shit. And basically their deaths is so fucking messed up. So you have Gabi, who gets stabbed like multiple times. Like he gets stabbed by the dude they sent to go get the truck for. Once again, I don't know why the fuck he changed like that, but he did. So he gets stabbed by him after being just like bombarded by a whole bunch of people. Then another dude comes up behind Gabi and fucking puts his arms around him where he can't move, and then like 8 niggas just start running up and stabbing him one by one. It was so fucked up. And then Wamu was in the house. He pick up a gun from one of the intruders and starts shooting at niggas and trying to kill him. He gets axed off. And then the one that really got to me was when Miko, because she eventually becomes a demon as well. She becomes a Devilman, because that's what they call them. Like if you're a demon but you still have a human heart, and like you can possess and take control of your demon form and you don't let it control you, you're basically called a Devilman. So that's why Akira calls himself Devilman. Miko becomes one, and she basically tells Miki to get on her back, and they're like running, and they start chasing them down in cars and shit. So the way that Miko gets killed is really she kills herself. But she got fucked up quite a bit, and it's not funny, but at the same time it kind of is. That like during her death scene, she's like trying to talk to them, and she's like, what did she say? She's like, what is justice or some other shit? And she's like trying to talk to them, and it's like she's talking to them and trying to give this big ass speech. They're like shooting her fucking limbs off one by one. And then like there's a dude in the back who's like, shut up and die already. And he's like just fucking popping her. That shit, it's not funny because I knew what they were trying to do, but at the same time it kind of was, especially that one dude who said that shit. He was like, shut up and fucking die already. It was kind of funny, but at the same time it's kind of not. It was just the way that he said that shit. It was kind of fucking funny. But anyway, like, so she kills herself. So then like Miki's running, right? And like, they doing all these flashbacks and shit. And basically what happens is she's running, she gets shot in the leg. So then she starts limping, right? And then this car comes down and she sees Wamu in it. And she's like, Wamu. And then he just fucking falls out the car and he got a fucking pickaxe in his back. And she's like, fuck. So she tries to turn around and run, and then she's running. This dude comes up behind her, takes a knife down her whole fucking back. I'm talking about from the top all the way down to her fucking ass. And she's like, ah, and then it cuts from there, right? So then it shows Akira running, and this is where the scene gets fucking dark. It gets real dark. So he's running, and when he gets to the house is on fire, it's burning down. And then you see the silhouettes of the people outside, and they're dancing with these sticks, and the camera zooms out. No, my bad, it doesn't zoom out. It, like, you see him dancing with the sticks, and then it zooms in on the sticks, and you just see the silhouette of body parts. You see the silhouettes of somebody's leg. You see the silhouette of Wamu's head. You see the silhouette of Gabi's head. You see the silhouette of fucking Miki's head. You see the silhouette of somebody's torso. You see the silhouette, I think, of one of the pieces of Miko. It is fucking messed up. And when I mean they're dancing and parading, I'm talking about house on fire. They outside dancing and partying and jumping up and down with their heads and body parts on spikes, on the edge of fucking, on the end of sticks and shit. It is so fucking messed up. And that scene, when I saw that for the first time, even seeing it again for the second time, but it really hit me hard when I seen it for the first time. When I tell you that amount of darkness and dread and like any word you can think of that means just like it puts you in a bad mood of just like this is fucked up, it enveloped me like a warm blanket. Like, it was so fucking heavy, and I was like, oh my fucking god, dude, like, holy shit. Are you fucking serious right now? They really went there, and it was so messed up. But once again, just like I was saying with the Tato scene, it's a good fucking scene though. It really is. Like, I'm telling you, you are going to feel a lot of emotions through this, especially like this sense of like dread and like the amount of heaviness that comes with these scenes. I'm telling you, man, you're gonna feel that shit. It's crazy how much that effect they put on you and how much you gonna feel it and how heavy it is. But that scene, it was good, but it was fucked up. And I was sad too, because I liked Wamu. I liked Gabi. I liked all them dudes. And I was like, fuck. The way that they did them, I like Miki a lot. And I was like, fuck, dude. They had to do them like that, because I'm not gonna lie to you. And I should have known by the way the show was going. I thought it was gonna be some fucking standard anime superhero type shit where like he comes and saves her at the last minute. I legitimately thought that. I was like, oh yeah, he gonna come and save her at the last minute, then they gonna run off and none of that. No, nigga, none of that shit. She's fucking dead. She's dead. I was like, holy fucking shit. He did not save her. He literally did not fucking save her. That shit threw me for a loop, because I was expecting that shit. I was like, nah, they not gonna kill her off. They not gonna kill Miki off. Come on now. They gotta at least save one person. Nope. The show was like, nah, nigga, we killing everybody in this bitch, whether you like it or not. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they did. The next thing is Rio being Satan. I didn't really get that. I didn't fully understand that. So even though they explained it, I still didn't really get the point of that. So basically, essentially what it is that they said that Rio was one of God's angels, and basically, the story of the devil. He tried to fucking, or Satan better yet, tried to, I guess go up against God or whatever the case may be. You get the point though. He sends them to such and such, blah, 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 right? That's essentially what they were saying. That's what they were saying that Rio was. But then the thing I didn't understand was like, how come he didn't remember any of that? Because he was saying that he was there because apparently here demons existed back when dinosaurs were supposed to be around. So in this world, demons were dinosaurs. So what, like, you know how everybody talk about like how many ever billion years ago we had dinosaurs here and we got the bones and shit. In this world, even though it's kind of based off the real world because it has Trump and shit as the president, so I don't fucking know how this works. But anyway, you get my point, right? In this one, it's saying that like demons were the dinosaurs, right? And when Rio first showed up, he liked that shit and he was with them, but then God sent like these little white orbs to wipe the earth and clean it, but somehow he stayed alive and then showed up many years later, and like then people tried to kill him, but then he like forgot some of that stuff somehow. I don't get it. It didn't really make any sense to me, and that's why I'm bringing it up here. It just didn't make any sense to me unless I'm missing something. Because that's what he said. He said he was around when the demons was around the first time, when they were the dinosaurs or whatever. But then God sent a whole bunch of light and fucked up everything. So then somehow, I guess he stayed in like a cocoon or some shit. I don't fucking know. But then when he was reborn or whatever the case may be, he, like the government tried to come and kill him or some shit, and he killed all of them. But I guess he had like a memory lapse or something, where he ended up thinking that he went to the jungle with some doctor, and he ended up becoming a demon, and that's how he figured out about it. But it turned out that that was never the case. It just didn't make any sense to me. I didn't get that part. So maybe somebody else can explain it better, or whoever sees this, you can sit down and explain it to give me a better understanding. Maybe it's something I missed, but I mean, I watched the show twice, and that's the best that I could really get out of it. But yeah, eventually he becomes Satan, and it was just like, okay, whatever. Or he doesn't eventually become Satan. He's always been Satan. He just didn't know. I was like, okay, I don't fucking get it. And I'm like, whatever. Okay, sure, nigga, whatever. Let's see. My next point is, now this is the point that, or one of the parts I was talking about earlier when it came to Miki and her friends and all of that shit, getting killed in a very horrific way, was Rio exposing Akira as Devilman, but the way that he did it, though, that I felt like was very important to talk about. That shit was fucking crazy. So if you watch the first couple of episodes, or really just the first episode actually, when they go to the club, right, it shows Rio running around stabbing a whole bunch of people, trying to make all the demons come out. When Rio exposes Akira, what he does, and I didn't notice this until I watched it the second time around, was that he just shows scenes of Akira being there, and then he shows scenes of himself running around stabbing people, but what he does is that he blurs his face out and just makes it seem like it was Akira, if that makes any sense, because he was wearing a white lab coat, Akira wasn't. But like the way that he edited, it looked like Akira was doing it even though he wasn't. And it was just like, oh, you little lying motherfucker. Because once again, when I first watched it, I didn't even see that. But when I watched it the second time, I was like, wait. Because when I watched it the first time, I thought that it was Akira that genuinely did that. I thought maybe he just didn't remember. But then when I watched it the second time, I noticed how he edited the video, and it was like showing scenes of Akira, and he even dubbed over his mouth. That was another thing. He dubbed over his mouth of him saying shit, which he never said. And I just caught all of it the second time. That's why I was like, you might want to watch it 2 times. If you, well, at this point, I've told you damn near everything, so it ain't no point in you watching it now, but, you know, anyway, you get my point. When I watched it for the second time, I noticed that he dubbed over his mouth, and then when he's the one, Rio's the one who's running through the club, stabbing people with a fucking broken bottle, he tried to make it seem like it was Akira, so he, like, blurred out his face and shit. I was like, this motherfucker. But that whole scene, dude, that was another good scene in this show, because the way that it went down was like he put up a fake broadcast with these 2 fake ass announcer dudes, or broadcasters, or news anchors, better yet. Damn, I could not figure out what fucking word or the name of them people. He put up like these 2 fake newscasters. They was both demons, and basically he set up this whole thing. And when he exposed Akira, it was so messed up, because they were all just sitting there chilling. And then all of a sudden he was like, I'm going to show you how my good friend Akira turned into a demon himself. And then he shows that video. And then you got Miki upstairs, who's still upset that her fucking parents just got killed, and her little brother's been then turned into a demon and they got killed. And then her one last person in her family, even though it's not really her family, I think it they didn't really explain it. I think that might be her friend. I think that's his friend. But they kind of consider themselves to be cousins because they've just been around each other for so long. I don't really fucking know. I can't remember. But you get my point. Bottom line, it was just fucked up. So, like, she gets that news, but like I said, when I was giving the description about her, how she's always optimistic, she's like, oh shit, I just fucking touched that chord. Hopefully that did not make a lot of noise in y'all ear. I was not thinking. I was trying to put it up on something. Anyway, hopefully that didn't make a whole bunch of noise in y'all ear. I apologize if it did. But anyway, like I said in my little description of her, even at that moment, she was still optimistic, and she was very hopeful and like forgiving. Well, not really even forgiving. she was just still her. Like, she didn't let the simple fact that he was a devil, or not the devil, but a demon, talking about Akira, that he was a demon and human. She didn't really care about that. She was like, you're still the Akira that I know. You know, it doesn't matter that you're a demon. I know who you are, because even at the time when you told me that my parents had died, you cried like you always did. You know, that's how I know it's you and stuff like that. But it was just fucked up, man. He lied his ass off, and that's why I said he's a fucking user, because basically throughout this entire show, he only uses Akira to benefit him the entire fucking time. Everything that happens to Akira is because of Ryo. Every single thing. And it's super fucked up, man. But that scene was the most fucked up. And then oh shit, I wrote that down twice. Oh, I was about to say the next point was them dying again, but I wrote that down already. So I don't know why I wrote that down twice. I don't know why I wrote, because I wrote it here. It says Miki and her rapping friend's death is in the scene, and then I put episode 9, death of Miki and friends. I don't know why I fucking put that twice. Anyway, but that's most of what I can think about, and just shit that I thought about when it comes to this, and just talking about the spoilers and shit when it comes to Devilman Crybaby. I didn't like the ending. That's the one thing I forgot to put. I didn't like the ending. I did not like the ending, but I guess we'll talk about it here. So fuck it. The ending didn't really make, like, it didn't make too much sense to me, because the thing was that Ryo went through all of that shit. He became Satan. He wanted to get rid of humanity and all of that bullshit. And then when everything happens and I guess he killed all the humans, I didn't see any demons left. So I'm guessing pretty much everybody fucking died. I don't know how that works. At the end, Akira was like completely cut in half. Like, Ryo fucked him up. He sliced his entire body in half. And like, Akira's like sitting there laying next to him in his human form. And like, Ryo was talking to him. And then like, Akira's dead. And then Ryo starts crying. And he's like, don't leave me, Akira. And I'm like, what? I don't get it. Ain't this what you wanted? Like, I don't get it. It was like, it didn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't know. Once again, it could be something that I missed. It could be something that went over my head, but I just didn't get it. I didn't get the point of it. I didn't get the point of the ending. And then God shoots his little light balls. It sounds weird, but it's essentially what it is, balls of light. His little balls of light down. And I guess he reset the earth again. I have no idea. And that was another thing that I kept on seeing people say, that like God could reset the earth at any time he wanted to or some shit. I don't know. It's so much shit with this show. But overall, if you want to get into all the deeper narratives and deeper stuff that supposedly come with this show, you can. But even just looking at it from a surface level to a certain extent, like just watching it and taking what you can out of it, it's still a very good watch, man. I can't lie. And that's what I think is the strongest thing about this, is that if you just want to watch it one time and take it as it is, you can. It's still a good show. If you want to go back and watch it a second time like me, it makes the show even better. And then if you really want to start digging into the themes and all of that stuff and theories about this show, it makes it even better. It's just one of those shows that it's just good, man. It's just fucking good. And that's all I can think about. You know, that's the point of these Methoghs, is just talking about whatever the fuck I feel like talking about. But in this particular case, it's to go into the spoilers corner of said show or anime that I watch. And today it was on Devilman Crybaby. So yeah, that I don't know what to say. I'm trying to figure out something to say. But yeah, once again, be expecting one for Big O, because I still don't know how to watch Evangelion. Not only did I leave that in my actual overview, I'm gonna say it here. If you made it to the end of this, shout outs to you. But if you did make it to the end of this, can you please tell me how the fuck I'm supposed to watch this goddamn show? Because I've seen there's like 18 fucking movies. There's like 22 fucking versions of the show. I don't know how to fucking watch this shit, and I really want to know how, because I hear some people say that you shouldn't watch the Netflix version because there's something wrong with it. Like, I know they changed the scene, and then they changed some dialogue or some shit, took out some dialogue or some shit, and then some people say that it's okay. I don't know. That's why I'm calling to all my Evangelion enthusiasts to please help your boy out. because I really want to watch that show. I truly do. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I'm done.